Welcome into Longhorn Extra this week. Signing Day special presented by Cavenders alongside the coach, Tom Herman. I'm Alex Loeb. Coach, you locked down the state, signing 5 of the top 6 players in the state of Texas. Now that this late signing period is over, how did you like this new system this year with the early signing period in December and wrapping up today?
I think now that it's over, it was a really good thing because we were able to sign 19 guys on December 21st, and really then the maintenance of those guys was at a minimum throughout the month of January, and we could really focus on the guys that we wanted to sign as well as get a head start on the 2019 class. It does make for those 3 weeks after the regular season and before signing day are about as hectic as I've ever had in my career in terms of, you know, you're in 3 different cities and 3 different homes in one day, and then doing that for 5 days straight, and then you're back at home at night because you got bowl practice in the morning, so you get in at 2 in the morning, wake up at 4:30, go to practice, and then shower up and get on a plane and go to 3 different homes and do it all over again. So again, not complaining. I mean, I knew what I signed up for, but it was very hectic, but definitely very fruitful as well.
I know you got some help from the players. Who among the early enrollees was the most active in trying to recruit some newbies, some guys for this late signing period?
Well, I think they all were. I think Cameron Rising does a really good job recruiting. Caden Stearns was very helpful, but the rest of those guys, I mean, they were always present. They were around and very, very helpful.
Let's take a look at the February signing day recap, officially presented by Cavenders. You bring in 2 of the top 50 guys in the nation, according to ESPN, Joshua Moore and Keandre Coburn on Wednesday. Number 1 running back in the state of Texas, Kiante Ingram. Another number of talented guys right here. But of course, you signed the majority of the class in December. Let's start off with the offense here. When you look at a guy like Joshua Moore, a top 5 athlete in the nation, top 50 player overall, what does he bring into the table, and where do you see him fitting in with your team and your offense?
Well, he's played some championship level football throughout his career, and he plays for Texas Tech in Bo Robinson at Yoakum, has won a ton of games. Right now, you know, as it stands today, he would probably start at his career at H receiver, slot receiver, but he's so versatile. He can play outside receiver, he can play corner. He's definitely a great returner. So right now, probably where we need him the most is at slot receiver, but knowing that if we need him at other places, he's versatile enough to give us that.
You get the number 1 running back in the state, Kiante Ingram. It's the first time Texas has actually gotten the number 1 running back in Texas since 2012 when Jonathan Gray came here. How much of an immediate impact can Ingram have?
Hopefully a ton. You know, there's no secret. We've got to get better at that position next year. And you know, if it comes in the form of Daniel Young and Kyle Porter and Tennille Carter and Tristan Houston developing, great. If it comes in the form of Kiante Ingram showing up and getting some quality playing time, great. But one way or another, we've got to get better at that position, and we think Kiante's got a chance to provide us that.
What kind of a runner is he compared to the other guys in the backfield like Carter and Young?
Oh, he's probably a little bit like Tennille in terms of he's elusive. He's probably a blend of those two, I would think, those 2 young guys, where he's got pretty good elusiveness like Tennille, but can, you know, run between the tackles, put his pads down, and break some arm tackles too, like Daniel.
Meanwhile, the guy in front of him on the offensive line you bring in, this is an interesting guy. Christian Jones, who's a beast, 6'6", 285 pounds, hasn't played a ton of high school football, but a lot of raw talent.
Hey, he's 294 now, actually. He has literally played 2 years of high school football, 2 years of organized football. That's it. He was a soccer player. His parents are Jamaican immigrants that have done really well for themselves up in Northwest Houston. And not only has he only played football for 2 years, he's only played offensive line for 1. And so he played DN in his junior year. And so this was a guy, we need tackle bodies in our program. And so you look at a guy that's 6'6", 294 like him and can bend and run like you saw in the video, you know, that kid is, you know, the sky is the limit for him, and we're really excited about it.
A lot of talent there, a lot of talent on defense as well. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have you come back and break down the defensive players you brought in. But first, let's take a look at the full list of offensive signees. You talk about the talent on here. Joshua Moore, number 5 athlete in the nation. This is a kid who originally committed to Nebraska, but decommitted when Mike Riley was fired. But everybody from Nick Saban to Urban Meyer was after him. Kiante Ingram, number 1 running back in the state of Texas. Over 4,000 yards and over 60 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. Christian Jones, another late signee, a guy, as Coach Herman said, with a lot of talent, a lot of raw talent. Some of the early signees, of course, the 2 quarterbacks, Cameron Rising and Casey Thompson, 215th and 221st overall.